There's been a string of attacks on ships in the Red Sea by Houthi rebels, a British ship, a U.S. Navy warship, a container ship. What are the factors that makes this stretch so vulnerable commercially and militarily? And from your experience, how crucial is this waterway?
Extremely vital. I think you just pointed out there that 10% of the world's trade transits through that area. That's a massive amount when you're talking on a global scale. And of course, it affects nations all throughout that region of the earth. The real problem is, of course, it's just its geographic location, and it's near Israel, and it's between some of these Houthi rebels and the Israeli forces and of course, in the Palestinian people that they say that they're trying to protect. Houthi rebels are doing whatever they can. They're just trying to cause mayhem and chaos, trying to cause economic harm to Israel, because I'm sure that their intent is not to sink ships, because I don't think they have much capacity to do that. But they do have enough capacity to cause problems. And of course, the one of the big issues for trade is the insurance that it costs for ships to transit a given area. And if the threat is deemed higher, then the insurance will be higher, and therefore so will the cost to transit goods, and that gets passed on to consumers. The intent, I think, is more to cause economic hardship to Israel than it is to actually cause them any military damage. And it remains to be seen whether that succeeds or not.
Can you talk to us about the growing maritime tensions in the Middle East region and now this waterway in the Red Sea as well?
The Strait of Hormuz remains the priority and the biggest threat, because if this war expands, and that's one of the biggest threats that really to both Israel, the United States, and the region, is if this war expands beyond the Gaza Strip, whether that's some of the U.S. troops are being attacked in Syria, in Iraq, the risk of Hezbollah attacking into Israel in the north from Lebanon, or God forbid, if this should expand also to Iran. Of course, then you again have the Strait of Hormuz potentially coming into play, because that's much more than just some percentage of the global transit effect is trade. It's the energy lifeline that affects so many different countries, which could then affect the entire global economy if that goes up. And this war here that's between Hamas and Israel, obviously Israel was attacked by a terrorist strike on the 7th of October, and they have every right to respond to that. But they also have an obligation to international law, to the American people who are supporting them, that they cannot be seen as being cavalier with the lives of thousands of Palestinians who had nothing to do with it and are just as innocent as the Israeli civilians. And so this is the potential flashpoint that could expand this war in the region and draw others into it, that must be avoided at all costs.